Greetings, everyone. I'm here with Sister Mary Perpetua here in Sewanee. I hope that you all have had a great week reading your readings as an introduction to Christology and Christianity's relationship with other world religions. This week, what I want to talk about before we get started is just a little bit about housekeeping. First of all, you don't have readings for this coming week. It's a little bit of a break. So I'm going to encourage you to think a little bit more about the role of Christ in your ministry. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about with you right now, is that all ministry, all Christian ministry, whether it's ordained or lay or anything, is all rooted in life with Christ. I think that's a very important thing for us to note and to take time to think about. What does it mean that we share in the life of Christ as Christian ministers, especially as youth and family ministers? What does that mean? How do we help other people? How do we invite other people into that life of Christ? We also know that the life of Christ was not always an easy one. Through our reading of the Gospels, we know that there was much suffering and difficulty, as well as joys and other things. But what does it mean to link ourselves with Christ's suffering as well? I think that's an important thing for us to think about. For myself, the theology of Karl Rahner is a really important one when we think about Christ. For Karl Rahner, Christ was first and foremost the Word, that self-revelation, that complete expression of God to humanity in human form. This has implications when we look at ourselves, our own anthropology, what it means to be human, because Christ was fully human. So that means that humanity has within itself the capacity to hold and contain the fullness of God. It's a very challenging thing to think about. In our own baptismal covenant, we see some teachings that direct us towards that, where we say that we seek and serve Christ in every human person. So therefore, each person is called to live into that side of themselves that reveals God, that makes God known. We each are, in some ways, a little Christ. So how do we do that? And what is the particular nature of we who have taken on a formal role of ministry within the church? It's not to say that people who are not actively engaged in the teaching ministry or formation ministries of the church or any other ministry are not called to the same thing, but there's something unique about being called to a ministry. So just as there's something unique to the ordained ministry, there's something unique to the teaching ministry, sharing in the teaching ministry of the church, and that's what we share in the youth and family ministries, is the teaching ministry of the church. So I encourage you to really think about that. How are we called to be to live into that identity and to make Christ known in our own very lives? I think that that's an important thing for us to look at. As you're thinking about Christ too, and as looking ahead perhaps, I encourage you to start thinking about what are those things in your, those beliefs that you have, those theological ideas that you have that are really core and central to your ministry. For me, the incarnation, that Christ came, that humanity is capable of holding and being united with the very being and person of God is very central to my idea of ministry. And so that's one of those things that I think about and pray about and read about an awful lot. So start thinking about what are those things for you that are of the utmost importance and really shape how you look at your ministry. The other thing to start looking at is, what is your ministry context? Looking around, like what's going on there? Is it a parish? Is it a diocesan setting? What is your specific ministry context? And we each have many of those. It could be our own family, our own home, our family life. It could be our parish where we are on staff, or the diocese where we're on staff. It could be a camp where we work with. But what is in these ministry contexts? What's going on there? Begin thinking about that. What is the reality within which you are ministering, that you are assisting individuals to live into their potential of making Christ known, making God known in the world? Well, I hope you enjoy your long weekend here. Sister Perpetua and I are going to enjoy ours. We're off to Atlanta to visit some good friends down there. And God blessings, and you're in my prayers. Take care. Bye-bye.